Azad, and this is your host Aisha. And today we are talking about fasting. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramzan Mubarak to you, Aisha. How are you?
I'm doing very well. We have Dr. Basaria with us today. She's a health and wellness coach, and you can check out drbasaria.com. उनके बारे में इतने लोग बात कर रहे हैं पूरे शहर में and they are like maybe we can join her program and get on the path to health and wellness. Highly recommended. So if you want a free consultation with her, her number is 469-645-8681. But the best part is when I'm out and about in town and they're watching our segments. So that is a great community service that you are doing, Neelofer.
Absolutely. Yeah, whatever education we can impart and if it can help people.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So fasting is on right now. Is underway, and I think it's a great idea that we talk about really how does fasting help our mind and our body. It's not just our body, it's our mind as well. And I know that's such a big part of what you do in your program.
Yes, absolutely. Not only your body, but your mind, your emotions, your soul. So fasting has a big impact.
Okay, so we will talk about that. If you have any questions, you can give us a call at 972-501-9390. So, how does fasting during Ramadan help in cellular repair and detoxification? We're jumping right into it.
Yes, yes. So fasting is absolutely fascinating, and it's been part of humans for a very, very long time since we were hunter and gatherers, right? So we had a period of fast and then a period of feast, right? And it's part of every religion,
Yes.
major religion. So, how it helps in detoxification and cellular repair, there is a concept which is called as autophagy, which is basically cellular repair.
Okay.
So, cells, the DNA repairs itself. And there are some proteins, sirtuins are very important. These proteins, what they do is they help the DNA to repair itself, right? So there's a lot of um, bad things that are in the cells, the cell is getting rid of. There's a lot of recycling is happening. Mitochondria, which is a powerhouse of our cell, they are getting a lot of, they give a lot of energy. So there's a lot of repair that's going on there. So because of all of that, basically the body is renewing and reviving.
Okay.
And that also slows down aging, because see, all these cells, anything that was not working or functioning is basically replaced and repaired, right?
Okay.
And a lot of neurodegenerative diseases, you see a reduction in that. So say Alzheimer or Parkinson, dementia, right? Because of this process of autophagy and cellular repair, you see a lot of growth and repair in the nervous system. So your aging stops.
Interesting.
Yes, so fasting has fascinating
Okay. And
benefits and advantages.
and the cells go into this when we are fasting.
Yes. So this autophagy, so usually after 12 hours, and then between 12 to 16 hours, this process gradually starts. And Ramadan is just a start of fasting, right? And it's reminding us how important this particular fasting is for our body. But overall, throughout the year, you can do different ways of fasting. And so when you hit 18 plus hours, this autophagy just skyrockets.
Wow.
So we start seeing the benefits within like 12 hours, when we hit 12 hours, and then they're on.
Right. So in Ramzan, of course, we all know you can't eat or drink, right? Between sunrise and sunset. So कोई 12 घंटे होते हैं. आप जो बात कर रही हैं, ठीक है, to extend it beyond that. So do you have to then not eat or drink anything, or you're allowed to eat or drink something?
So you don't eat as such, but you can drink. You can drink water, after, you know, like once you are done with Ramadan fasting and you're continuing it. So then you start with intermittent fasting, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can extend it.
Okay.
And there are different levels of fasting that, we talk about in the program as well.
Mm.
But you can drink water, you can do your herbal teas, you can do coffee too,
Mm-hmm.
but without cream and sugar, right? So there are certain things that you can do, and you can take your vitamins, those kind of things.
Okay.
Um, but um,
But nothing, no
but
food.
nothing, yeah, with respect to that will increase your blood sugar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like, what about the fatigue level?
Or you feel more alive. You feel
Really?
more, yeah, rejuvenated. You feel more focused
Hmm.
as a result of that. There's no fatigue.
Really
But you have to
interesting.
train your body gradually. So
Yeah,
there's a process to it,
I see. I
which
see.
we learn in the program.
So we've always been told that there are certain cells that don't rejuvenate or repair. I mean, is that true? Or
No,
is
it's
all
like very at a molecular level, all cells they
all cells?
function the same way, right?
Huh.
So at a DNA level, we are
Hmm.
talking about this benefit of fasting, like
Mm-hmm.
very, very minute, like molecular level.
Mm.
Hmm.
Wow, interesting. Okay, that's good to know. Some of us really struggle in रमज़ान कहते हैं कि उनका वेट बढ़ जाता है कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि नो रमज़ान इज़ अ टाइम फॉर मी वेयर आई एम लूजिंग माई वेट 3-4 पाउंड कुछ के 10 पाउंड उतरते हैं so how does Ramzan fasting, and we'll focus on Ramzan fasting through this segment, how does that help in weight loss?
Well, if you are having a very big iftar,
Mm-hmm.
you are loading your plates with food, and then you're having it multiple times until like late in the night, you're going to gain weight. Sorry.
Okay, the
So
pakoras,
that's
samosas.
exactly the pakoras, the samosas, and which are not ending like
Huh.
until like midnight, right? So yeah, there is no way you will lose weight because it's just because you're fasting during the day or it's Ramadan.
Hmm.
So if you really want to lose weight, you have to, equally important is how you break your fast,
Okay.
right? So, and what you're having in the morning, what you're having in the evening. But fasting is an excellent way to lose weight, because what you do is your body is going into the fat burning mode, because your insulin levels go down,
Mm-hmm.
right, during the day. So your body is tapping into the fat reserves, and you're breaking that fat. If you are having good protein, you're going to retain your muscles, and your fat will burn, which will help in weight loss.
How do you tell your body which part of the your body it needs to take the fat out from?
Well, the longer you fast, it's going to go to those parts where you want it to go, which is
Okay.
like the belly is the last, because that's like a very, there are a lot of adipose tissues there,
Hmm.
right? And that's the primary place where a lot of fat is
Stored.
stored. And if you're not eating right food, then a lot of fat also stores around your organs,
Hmm.
which is not good. But as you do fasting, that starts to melt.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer you're fast, the better. And the better way to break your fast, then you still continue to gain those benefits. But if you're breaking your fast with like sugar loaded drinks and fried foods, then
Hmm.
you are undoing all the good that you just, the body was um, gaining
Mm-hmm.
during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fat burning is a very good way to lose weight. And also, in addition to insulin going down, human growth hormone goes up, which also helps a great deal
Mm-hmm.
to retain your muscle.
Okay.
And so your where you need
Hmm.
the body to kind of then use the food is retained, and what is not good for you, which is
Mm-hmm.
fats,
Hmm.
that gets burned. So body has excellent ways to work and heal itself. And
It's
fasting
remarkable.
is yes, wonderful.
It is remarkable. So, a couple of things that you said in there that I think we can explore further, and that is eating the right things at iftar. What would a typical and a good iftar plate look like? What are some tips for that? And my second question is, you know, 4 weeks of Ramzan, which of the weeks is most critical, or when the effect, when you start seeing the effects, like in the first week, everybody kind of loses a little bit of weight, could be water weight or whatever, but which of, is it week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, like what are we seeing in terms of the best results for us? When is all the goodness kicking in?
Well, of course, initially body will lose and lose fast, right? So you will see a lot of results there, right? But if you are continuing to eat right, if you are being mindful, if you are choosing the right food to do your sehri and your iftari, then you will continue to see the results. So, although they might slow down a bit, but your body will shed because the fat burning is happening. You are letting the process go. Okay. Now, to your question, which is very important, what should be eaten, right? So, like all your samosas and pakoras and gulab jamuns and all of,
So exactly what I had yesterday for iftar.
So, yeah, sometimes you can have it, and sometimes when you are in an environment where you don't have option and you are, it's not your place, that those are the things that are being offered. What I suggest my clients is, when you cannot control the quality, then control the quantity.
I
Right,
did that.
very, very important. Yes. So eating mindfully, of course, if they have done a buffet, there might be some options for vegetables and sabzi, right? So you have to spot some of those things out too, so that your body is getting that right. So an ideal iftar would be, you start with water and date, right? And some people don't even do date. That's fine too. I mean, whatever you desire. But of course, no caffeinated drinks, no sugary drinks, because it's not, when you're breaking your iftar, it's not like a permission to, okay, let me have this juice, which is like this red juice or this mango juice or this pakola or whatever. Right. Have your water, right? You can have coconut water, clean form, organic. And then have something to, like something light. So you can have, someday you can have a fruit salad. Someday you can have like chana chaat, but without puri and lots of like meaty and khatti chutney, right? Like simple one, where you have added some vegetables to, and just normal masalas that we use, right, to kind of make it like tasty, chatpata. And then sometimes maybe lentil soup, right? Something lighter to start with. And then after a little bit, remember your plate. We've all talked about that. So, and we talked about protein and, replenishing for our muscles. So you need to have good source of protein. Okay. So first and foremost, think of, a good form of like chicken. Now, not having chicken like as korma with a lot of oil, right? So think clean. Okay. Take the processed food out. Take the fried oily stuff out, and go to the source. So chicken, grilled chicken, or fish, right? And then add veggies, um, good source of some complex carbs. So if you can have say quinoa or brown rice or whole wheat bread, right? So better options. And with carbs, read your body and look at the portion. Very important. It's very easy to overdo on that. Sometimes sweet potatoes, things like that. So if you're having fries, have sweet potato fries. So better option, better quality. Okay. And then good fat. So sometimes when I break my fast, I just have half or 1/4 of an avocado, and it just stabilizes your blood sugar. All right. So good fat. So your nuts and seeds, all right, along with your date. Or sprinkle in, some hemp seeds or flax seeds on top of your salad. Fish is also a good source of good fat, right? So your proteins, your vegetables and complex carbs, because you're getting a lot of fiber there,
Okay.
and your good fats.
Okay.
And then drink is mostly, go to water or herbal teas, um, less caffeinated and sugary drinks. Caffeinated drinks will dehydrate you. You have to retain your water, right? So in the morning, like we talked about before, 2 or 3 glasses of water. In the evening, 4 to 5, 6, whatever you can do.
Right.
Right. So as you're replenishing your body with good food and drinks, and then in dessert, usually, don't have like big desserts, gulab jamun. Dessert should be very
Little.
bite size.
Yes.
So I usually, tell my clients have like dark chocolate. Or if you are doing kheer, say for instance, why can't you make it with almond milk and dates, as opposed to that condensed milk and lots of sugar? Right, so improvise and try to, like, if you want to have those kind of things, then
Right.
then make it healthier,
Yes.
right? So then you can have it in small quantity, right? So again, portion
Yeah.
size is important.
And honestly, I always used to make my kheer in whole milk and half. And recently, I've started making it with 2% milk.
Hmm.
And pata bhi nahi chalta.
Exactly. You see,
So,
so the and gradually, as you go in the spectrum and you try it with almond milk, I've done it. It's lovely, and I don't do a lot of sugar. We
okay.
use dates, right? You can just use a little bit of honey if you want, on top. Chia pudding is an excellent dessert, full of protein. You can add your fruits in there, Greek yogurt, you know, and just put a little bit of honey, like if you feel like, right? And in the Ramadan and during iftari, we just sometimes we feel like it. So you can have it, control your portions, have good quality food. So this body is not a trash can, and don't put junk in it. All right. Quantity and quality both are very important. And let us understand the fact that Ramadan is specifically the time when we have to eat less. So combine morning and
Yeah.
evening, we have to eat less than what we usually eat. What we end up doing is
Eating double.
double.
Yeah, because in after iftar to seri, sometimes we're having two, three, four meals and full
Yes.
meals.
Yes.
So and like it's like acha, before we go for Taraweeh, we'll have iftar and then dinner, and then after Taraweeh, you're meeting for coffee and desserts and then more food, and then it's like seri. So then
Yeah, this is a
it's
perfect recipe
crazy.
for weight gain, for
Huh.
heart disease, taking yourself toward it.
Hmm.
Ramadan is such a blessed month, and God has given us this to not only heal our body, but our mind, our soul. And if we end up doing opposite of it, then what's the use of it? What's the benefit? Might as well not do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So
So,
you mentioned something very interesting, and that is good for our heart. So tell us a little bit about how fasting helps our heart, and also how does it help people with diabetes? Because we've
yeah.
always heard that oh, agar you're diabetic, you shouldn't be fasting, right?
Hmm.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the studies shows the opposite. But again, like I said, how you break your fast, what you eat is important. All right. If you are diabetic, you have to monitor it, and you have to talk to your doctor, right? They may adjust some of your medications.
Okay.
All right. So very important. There are continuous glucose monitors which are very readily available, and especially if you are diabetic, right? So monitor your blood glucose, see where it is, right? And fasting should not be a problem for diabetics if they are doing things right,
Okay.
right? Like we talked about, because your insulin sensitivity will improve actually as a result of fasting. So, in studies, it's been shown that your diabetes, type 2 diabetes, gets better as a result of fasting. And same with heart disease. So, your blood pressure goes down, your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol, goes down,
Okay.
your triglyceride, which is the bad fat in your body, goes down, right? Inflammation goes down, C-reactive protein, which is a marker for inflammation and heart disease,
Mm-hmm.
it goes down.
Mm.
And this has all been shown in scientific research. So fasting is wonderful for heart disease.
So going back to my first question is that when do you start seeing the results? Is it day 1 of fasting or day 20 of fasting?
No, the deeper results that we are talking about in your body,
Hmm.
as you continue, you just have to hone on the process.
Okay.
And not only in Ramadan, but then after too, because this is giving you a good start,
Hmm.
right? And then you have to continue with it. We've been given fasting, but that does not mean that we forget about it the entire year,
Hmm.
right? What we establish, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we have to continue that
Mm-hmm.
throughout the year,
Yeah.
right? So you will continue to see the effects. Of course, in the beginning, with respect to weight loss and all that, you will see, a very quick weight loss.
Hmm.
But if you are doing the right things, you are going to continue to see the results to an extent that, what we talked about, autophagy and neurodegenerative diseases and, cardiac diseases and all of that will get better. Your aging process will slow down. So longevity, you'll live longer, you will be happier because you are keeping the tenets of fasting in the month of Ramadan throughout.
That's why everybody looks so good on Eid.
Yes. Well, some of it might be a deception too, right? But if people do it the right way, yes, you do see that glow
Mm-hmm.
from within
Yeah.
if you have really made use of the month in the right way.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. So good for the heart, good for blood sugar. You talked a little bit about brain function also. So I feel that people just tend to complain that they're in this brain fog in Ramzan. Kuch yaad nahi rehta. Kuch they just sort of stumbling through this whole thing of fatigue and. But does mental acuity actually increase for people?
Yes. So scientifically, absolutely yes. And we will talk about what people think that, oh, I'm agitated and I'm frustrated
Hangry.
and I'm hangry,
Huh.
right? So we will talk about that as well. But let me first tell you scientifically and what has been seen in the
Hmm.
research. All
Mhm.
right. So there is something called brain derived neurotropic factor.
Okay.
Okay. So BDNF.
Okay.
That increases during fasting. Fasting activates that. So what that does, this is a protein which helps enhance it. It will grow. It will help in the growth of your neurons.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So neurons are your basic cells of your nervous system.
Hmm.
So they are getting better
Okay.
because fasting triggers it.
ठीक
All
है.
right. And it improves your memory actually. So memory gets better with
Hmm.
fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. तो जो भूल जाते हैं there is something else that's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Scientifically, actually, what's biochemically happening in your body, your brain function should improve, your memory should improve. We talked about autophagy.
Mm-hmm.
So the effect of that will stop the cognitive decline. Neurodegenerative diseases will get lessened,
Mm-hmm.
right? It
Mm-hmm.
will benefit there, right? So and then what happens during fasting is the glucose burning system shuts down and we burn fats, right? And as a result of it, a lot of ketones are produced, and
Mm-hmm.
ketone is very good fuel for brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excellent fuel for brain,
ठीक है.
right? Much better than glucose, right? So glucose is like right away activity. Ketones will stay stable. All right. So your prefrontal cortex gets benefit. So prefrontal cortex is your executive branch, right? It does all the executive functioning, your decision making,
Hmm.
your processing, your focus,
ठीक है.
all right, your problem solving.
Hmm.
So this is getting fueled by ketones, which is high quality fuel. So how brain function will not get better,
Mm-hmm.
how your mood will not get emotional benefits, right? Your dopamine increases during fasting,
Hmm.
right? Your sensitivity to dopamine increases. So a lot
Okay.
of times when there's a lot of dopamine, but the brain is not sensitive to it, just like when there's a lot of insulin and body is not sensitive to it, it doesn't function. You get diabetes, right?
Mm.
So dopamine sensitivity improves. You produce more serotonin, which is your happiness hormone,
Mm.
neurotransmitter,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Your cortisol goes down, which is stress related hormone. It goes down. So actually, biochemically, your mood has to get better because all of these chemicals are working for you, right? The level of gratitude, like when you are restraining yourself from food, and then when you get food, you feel a different kind of satisfaction
Mm-hmm.
and gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, all those are brain enhancing, mood enhancing, emotions get better.
Yeah.
But it's not only, we are not only physical beings, we are mental, emotional beings. So, just like food is important, equally, our thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
our feelings are also important.
Right.
So, we are not only feeding ourselves with food, we're also feeding ourselves with thoughts
Mm.
and feelings.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if I'm constantly thinking that, oh my God, today is today it's going to be longer,
Oh.
or I have to fast, or oh, I feel so hungry, and my focus is there, like my thoughts that I'm feeding to me. So this the spirit which
Mm.
is in charge, that has this body and that has this thought and that has this feeling and
Mm.
emotion,
Mm.
if I'm constantly feeding myself that nothing is happening, oh my God, I've become so forgetful, this is happening, that is happening, such a long fast, it's not ending today, I'm feeling lethargic, this or that, then all this neurochemistry is going on, biochemistry is going on in your body,
Mm.
right? But then your thoughts and how the way you chose to feel overcome it, right? Because
Got
then
it.
that supersedes it, and then you start going, because of this thought pattern, you are eliciting some of those chemicals that are opposite to what fasting, what not giving food to your body is initiating in your
So it's
body.
canceling it out.
Yes, so a lot of
Oh.
people who are always angry, they are going with the same brain pattern that, oh my God, I'm not going to get food, and oh
Mm.
my God, I have to do this much of work,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's that mental pattern, so that mental programming. What you have to do is you have to break that pattern, you have to stop that, and you have to focus more on the goodness of things.
Mm-hmm.
So the thoughts that you feed yourself and the feelings that you feed yourself are equally
Interesting.
important when you stop food,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you will see all these benefits,
Mm-hmm.
like mental, emotional, physical, that we talked about, and it'll be wonderful.
Wow. This explains so much because I've seen ke my body goes into overdrive in Ramzan.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometime like the other day after Seri, I just didn't go to sleep, and like 4 hours I just sat there and tuck 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 I was like doing my work.
Yes, because your focus is increased,
Yeah.
and you take advantage of that,
Okay.
right? Rather than thinking about, oh my God, when am I going to get food? It's just 4 hours. I have to go eight,
Mm.
9 more hours, right?
Okay.
So yeah, choose to think good thoughts, and I mean, appreciate that you got so much done,
Mm.
right? And it's a wonderful day, and my body is healing from inside, and I have better focus.
Mm-hmm.
So then spiritually, what happens when you have better focus? You will be able to focus in your prayers better,
Mm.
right? You
Mm.
will be
Mm.
more
Mm.
mindful,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
So more mental clarity, more connection to the consciousness, to the Almighty, right? So lots of spiritual benefits. So
Yeah.
focus there, like the gratitude that we talked about,
Mm.
feeling for people who are less fortunate than us,
Mm-hmm.
right? And doing some of those actions of charity and support and showing kindness, and especially during Ramadan,
Yeah.
to kind of be on alert, because this is the practice that we have to then take through the year,
That's what it's all about.
right?
Yeah.
So then it will all, your body, mind, emotions are all aligned, and they're going
Mm.
in one direction,
Mm-hmm.
and then you will see the power of fasting. it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Well, the way you're describing it, absolutely. That's, I think, the whole benefit in a nutshell,
Hmm.
right? Um, where does adequate sleep come in? Because obviously, the sleep deprivation really starts to take a toll on our bodies. So, how can we keep that balance?
So generally, when you fast, your body requires less sleep.
Hmm.
All right, because like you said, mental focus, clarity, alertness. So your need for sleep goes down. But
Okay.
again, it's
Hmm.
the thought process. If I'm constantly thinking, oh, I woke up like at 5 for sahur or 6,
Huh.
it's gotten better, from
Yeah.
today. But if you're waking up, and then say if you're not going back to sleep, or you're trying to sleep but you can't sleep, and then it's time to go to work, right? And then constantly, if this thought is going on in your mind, this will make you more tired.
Hmm.
But it's always a good idea to, during the day, if you get a chance, if you're fortunate, if you work from home, if you can catch a quick nap, 30 minutes,
Hmm.
45 minutes, I do that.
Hmm.
Powerful, right, during the day.
Yeah.
So just regain your energy, and like I said, in the morning and evening, your hydration is very important,
Hmm.
right? A little bit of exercise, not hardcore exercise, but walking and keep
Walking. Yeah.
moving, and stretching.
Hmm.
All of those will work together in your body, and your sleep cycle will be fine.
Hmm.
If you can catch a nap here and there when you feel like you're absolutely needing sleep, do that,
Hmm.
and it's going to be wonderful. And then don't um, disturb your sleep like so much where you are like hardly getting an hour or two of sleep,
Hmm.
right? If you are praying, prayer itself gives a lot of break to your
Yes.
mind,
Yes.
right? Fasting is giving a break to your body and your mind. So you will be fine if you're not obsessed with the thoughts that
Hmm.
I am not getting enough sleep.
Hmm.
Whenever you feel like sleeping and you can get it, take
Do
the
it.
opportunity. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Really wonderful, wonderful advice, and puts our whole Ramzan in a different focus. So thank you
Yeah,
for that.
absolutely. I hope that we all focus on the goodness of this month and all that it brings, especially spiritually.
Hmm.
Then be obsessed by, I have to go to this party and that party, and then lots of food and food after food after food. That's not um,
Yeah.
the reason. That's not the meaning of this month.
Exactly. And I think we also have to realize that not all caterers are the same, not all restaurants are the same, and a lot of people cut corners by reusing bad oils and things like that. And
Yes.
that's all we're putting it in our bodies,
Yes. Yes.
right?
So be very selective on, what you accept as an invitation to for, and give yourself a break. You don't have
Yeah.
to go, back to back, back to back.
Hmm.
People do understand that, everybody is sort of attending different. And when you excuse yourself nicely, and, you can do that. So don't feel pressured and burdened,
Hmm.
and do take care of your body. Your body comes first. And, having another gesture where you are showing more kindness toward the other person,
Yeah.
can be a way to show your love, as opposed to just,
Hmm.
forcing yourself to food,
Hmm.
right? And when you have to go, be very selective, be
Yeah.
very mindful of what you're choosing and putting in your on your plate.
Oh, that is such good advice, because there is a buffet of 10, 20, 30, 40 things. You don't have to have each and every dish. You really don't.
Exactly. No.
Pick and choose what really appeals to you and hone in on that.
Yes.
And then do the balance plate like you are talking about.
Right. Just think of your body as the pristine place where God lives, right? And especially in this month, you have to connect to Him more.
Hmm.
So why you want to feed junk to this body, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your heart is the place where He lives. So make
Wonderful.
it make it really really nice and Don't put any trash in it.
Don't put any trash in it. Absolutely. What invaluable advice for Ramzan. Thank you, Neelofer, for doing this segment. I think we all are walking away with a lot of great advice. So, Janab, drbasaria.com, Basaria is her website. You can look her up on Insta. And thank you for those lovely Ramadan reflections that we are hearing
Yeah.
at Iftar and seeing it on our Instagram as well. So, really beautiful. Helps to ground us, and
Mm.
I like the way you're connecting everything to a verse in the Quran. And it's body is a temple, so you know
Yes.
just look after it.
Yeah, it's lovely to do those. So thank you for the opportunity.
And her phone number 469-645-8681. So we will be continuing these segments. Look for the next one, and of course, you can check out our YouTube channel where you can find all these. You'll find our clips on the Radio Azad Instagram as